do that, and then we can discuss nyana, man. We can discuss nyana this topic of Bafana Bafana in these qualifiers. How it's going so far? Hey guys, Wanzima, man, Wanzima la Bafana. But we'll talk about it. I think I should be fine sound-wise. Please let me know, those who have jumped in now, whether you can hear me or not. But I will go ahead and start the show. Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is George Mokwena. I am your host. I do the show every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, and then Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. We also do watch-alongs where viable. And you're welcome to join. You're welcome to join. Thank you, Mpilo, for that confirmation. If you have watched the show before, or you want to watch different things, or it's the first time you're seeing me, and you want to hear what we've spoken about over the past few weeks, over the past few months, they are available in full on Facebook and on YouTube. So I urge you, subscribe to this TikTok account, the Facebook page, and also the YouTube channel. Frank, sorry man, I did say that I wasn't going to be live for this match. Apologies if you didn't get the message. But I'm here, guys. I'm here. Hi, Kekorot, how you doing? There is a poll going. I'm trying a poll feature. There's a poll feature here. Poll where I'm asking the question, whose fault is this loss? Is it Hugo Bruce's fault? Is it the players' fault? Or was Rwanda just that good? Were they just that good that we couldn't deal with them? But guys, if you have watched the show before, you do know that I do have panels on the show who lend their voices to the show live during the thing. If you want to be part of those panels, just be sure to be following me on TikTok. Join me when I'm live on TikTok. There's a multi-guest button at the bottom of the screen where you can click on it, and then I will be able to add you and hear you, and we can speak live on the show. It just makes it so much better when there's more voices, more knowledgeable voices on this. So let me jump in, and we're going to listen to Hugo Bruce and what he said. This is an audio only thing, so don't mind him not moving. If you want to listen to the full thing, it is available on Dstv fans on YouTube. But let's hear what Hugo Bruce had to say.
We are with Mr. Hugo Bruce, the head coach of South Africa national team. We are starting the press conference now. If you have some questions, we will have time to ask. Coach, first question. I can say that it was not your day. 2 goals to nil. What went wrong? What was not good tactically, technically, because it was not the result actually you wanted?
I think we lost the game in the first 20 minutes. We were not, or 25 minutes. We were not ready for the kick and rush football of Rwanda. Even I told the players that they have to be careful with that. And in those first 20-25 minutes, we give 2 presents, 2 goals. Who are a little bit, how can I say it? Yeah, not ready to go in duel. In the second goal, we have the ball, and then we let them take in and score. So again, the first 20-25 minutes was not good. After that, we changed something. We asked the boys to be a little bit, or to put a little bit more pressure, and then you see the second half. Rwanda didn't came any more in the 60 meters, except that shot. And for the rest, they defended, and that has to be from the first minute. So again, our start was bad, and we paid cash with 2 goals.
Okay, we can go with your questions, dear journalists. You can take the mic. Okay. Go. Give her the mic.
Bring it on to South African media. Coach, your response on players like Hlongwane, Tulu, Tau, as well as Zwane today?
You know, I'm not used to give comment on on the performances of players, and I will not do it either. You lose with 11 and you win with 11. So again, we were not ready for the game. The first 20 minutes, we lost duels. We didn't have an answer on the kick and rush from Rwanda, and we give 2 presents, and therefore we lose the game.
May I follow up on that, Coach? Do you think you were ready for the waterlogged type pitch? I know that you've spoken about it, its maintenance, and today we saw the down just how waterlogged it is.
Yeah, when you see the first 20 minutes, it's unbelievable that a qualifier for World Cup, that it's played on such a pitch. It's impossible. But okay, it is what it is, and I think that CAF and FIFA has to be stricter in the rules where you're going to play. You're talking about professional football. You're talking about qualifiers for the most biggest tournament of professional football, the World Cup. And then you have to play on such a pitch. Secondly, I think it's not normal when you arrive in the country that you still have to travel 3 hours with bus before you are on your final destination. Sorry. I will not say that this is the reason why we lost the game. No, not at all. But I think that those things have to change, because we are 2023 and we're talking about professional football. This pitch is not for professional football, and you don't let travel the opponent 3 hours from the airport before he has a final destination. But again, this is just this is only a remark I make, and this has nothing to do with the defeat of today.
Any other questions?
Okay. I'm going to jump in there for time's sake so that we can have the discussion. Let me jump in, guys. There is a poll that is running as to who do you attribute the responsibility of this to? And you guys can just vote there, and I'll hear from you guys. Okay, so some stats from the game. Obviously, Rwanda won 2-0. They had 7 shots on target versus our 5. They had 7 shots versus our 5, 4 shots on target versus our 2. We had 63% of the possession. We had 513 passes versus their 307. We had 79% getting pass accuracy versus 66, 13 fouls apiece, 2 yellow cards for Rwanda, none for us, 3 offsides Rwanda, 4 for South Africa, 2 corners versus 6, we had the 6. So that is how the stats of the game played out. There are a couple of touch points that you can go to within this match, and I'm going to start with the actual pitch. You know, and that's how it felt, because that whole thing, that whole pitch was waterlogged. There was puddles all over the place. The ball kept stopping. The ball didn't get to play. So though that could be a question to QUALIFIER, as the coach said, that maybe they should look into these pitches, man. How are we playing? What is the condition of the pitch when we get on there? It was a little bit better in the second half. It seemed as though it had dried up a little bit. But he came on and we found that pitch in that condition. Now, obviously, the pitch is an issue. But then you ask the question, Guti Barakais, in Batala. At what point do you get onto the pitch and realize, good day, in the first 5 minutes, we're not going to be able to make those passes. We're not going to be able to be risky, passing back. We're not going to be able to do all of these different things that we normally do as a South African team. Maybe it's time to just clear the ball. Maybe it's time to play route 1. How does this team adapt? And that's when you look at the team and also you look at the coach and you say, okay, Hugo Bruce, our Pesi are not in this game. They're not playing well. They're not here. At what point do you say as a coach, as in guys, must change his style and go into plan B, throw long balls, play long balls in, do what Rwanda was doing to us in that game? You know, you also have to question maybe the defensive pairing, Usbisi, Notulu. We've spoken a lot at length about how maybe they're not the best people to play the ball at the back. They're not the best people to try and build from the back and do back passes. And they were found out wanting a few times. Even Abomudau were found out wanting by a team that maybe got here and wanted a little bit more than South Africa. So this may start putting questions to what happens when we go and play in pitches like this, in places like this, in different environments. Do we have a deep enough team, a different enough team for us to go into these games, play a different way when we get there? And maybe we should start asking questions about Abo Makmayambela, the strikers. We spoke about Abo Hlongwane last match. Uti bakhona now, or what is going to happen here? Now, the standings of the group are as follows. Rwanda now jumps over us to number 1, having won 1 and drawn 1. We have South Africa, Nigeria, Lesotho, Zim, and Benin. We are sitting on 3 points. Nigeria is sitting on 2 points after drawing 2 of their games. Lesotho has drawn 2, Zim has drawn 2, and Benin have got a draw today, but they had lost the game previously. So, I'm going to open up so we can have a discussion about this game, what we saw, and whether we should start questioning the players, whether we should look at the coach, or whether we should give Rwanda just flowers, man. They were just better than us. Let's see. I'm going to open it up now, guys. Please remember that in order to jump in onto the panel, you have to request, and to request, you have to be following the account. There's a button that says multi-guest at the bottom of the screen. Click on that button, click on request, and then I will let you guys in as we go along. There's also a poll that is running right now with a very simple question. Who is at fault for today? Is it Hugo Bruce? Is it the players? Or was Rwanda just that good? So far, we are tied 50-50 on that. So let me let in the first panel, and we can have this conversation. Okay, there we go. Dala, how are you, my brother? Welcome to the show.
Ngibingelele othi ngibingelele panel nama overthinkers la.
Uyibona njani game?
Disaster. Disaster. Makuthiwa we never learn. Like we know vele ukuthi whenever Bafana Bafana gonna play against the whole so-called smaller nations, kwenziwa kanje. That's what happens whenever we play abo Mauritania. It's like the history like repeating itself. Like we know ukuthi whenever we are going to play Africa, it's either the officiation is gonna be bad, the fans are gonna intimidate you, or the pitch is gonna be a disaster. Then we know. But it seems like Hugo Bros, I don't understand. It seems like he came to that match with the mentality of Rwanda have not scored in 2 years at home. Rwanda have not won in 2 years at home. Seems like they came with that mentality to be like, you know what, but this is 3 points because of everyone is saying that. So this is 3 points, Vel. But losing against Rwanda, it's hard because of we can't blame the pitch. We saw the pitch. The coach is there, benching. They are players. As I'm a players, you don't think, man, guys, let's change the way like you said. As I'm a players, who is responsible for saying, guys, let's change the way we play? Because you can't play a short ball because we are born a very ground with limits. You can't expect to play a short passes. You see very already good. Kumanzila. Like nomtano mngana ngeka kahleli ibhola emanzini. Like uyabona okay, if ngizolikhahlela phansi, this way like tuzana. It's ngidlale long ball. Like the way bekudlalwa ngakhona abo Pesitawo bebengekho emachini bafethu akusiza ukublame uSibisi. Umndawo he was cooked namhlanje. Bamvezile umndawo ukuthi unjani. uSibisi this is the second game ayenza lamasimba wenzayo uSibisi, and abo Mudiba nabo they were nowhere to be seen. I feel like Rwanda should have won this match by 4-0. We were lucky bafethu ukuthi to lose 2-0 lapha because the way bekudlalwa ngakhona we can't even blame the referee. The referee was doing his job kahle, and then ama fans ase Rwanda were not even intimidating us. And to blame a pitch as 11 versus 11, like I did a research in Rwanda. This is how Rwanda plays against our teams whenever they're playing at home. This is the same thing that they play. Whenever maybe United, this is how Rwanda plays. But for 2 years they've been losing with the same tactics that they used against Bafana Bafana. But somehow Bafana Bafana came there with the mentality of, you know what, we are going to take it 3 points, and we lost against Rwanda, a poor team. abekho labantu esiluze ku. So that says ukuthi mentality ama players wethu inalokho ukuthi singcono, we play in the best league, we asinama teams participate ku CAF, so singcono thina. That's what always happened. It happens against sasenabo litsolonyana nabo shabala ama players wethu ane mentality ukuthi angcono whenever ayodlana nalama team. So namhlanje ukuzivezile ukuthi Hugo Bros ayikho lento ayicoachayo, because how can you make two substitution, like you are away team uzoyenza two substitution in the machine? Why ungafaka abantu? You saw ukuthi uMukwena is struggling, mkhiphe faka uMakgopa because vele siyamazi uMakgopa inkomo, but it was gonna favor him because of ama long ball for abo Makgopa siyazi ukuthi bayinkomo, but seems like lipasa nayo ungenile nje ngementality ukuthi angizokhaba kuphela. There was nothing lapha kula match, so we deserve to lose that match.
Okay,
We deserve to lose that match.
I hear my brother here. Let me bring in the Kumbo. Kumbo, welcome to the show. How are you?
Kwatile ake shaba
Ukwatile. Ah man, we bone jwang matchena. Ukwatetseng.
Kwatetse Eskom cause first stuff aga bona load shedding. Ke kwatetse FIFA, kwatetse Rwanda, everything. Lo wena go kwatetse.
Uska kwatela nna kentse.
The one time we watch a long ra lose, I want I don't know lo irang. Okay. As not because teams are going to have so at the level like the pitches are go other nations in Africa.
Yeah.
This was like the first time where we had to play a pitch yaraba. Ka pitch yaraba enali elongotha lokas nan training into in a system proper. And to show this was their plan when they tried to drain the water of the pitch. By really fell mama sighting where the like da good coaching is a mohari. So I understand. I mean, like who South African players we are short, we are small in stature. So obviously we have to play the short pass and everything. Yes, let's go over ne. But as soon as it will dry up, we could see who Nesha put their Kennedy pass. Hence why really 79% in trainer. But let's again, I'm tired of always having to lose such games. It's a crucial like the technicalities. Last year, again trainer Ghana because we couldn't complain within 24 hours, but we were already too late to complain. So right now, if we saw the pitch was that bad, why is a protester? And why did the match commissioner Audimala pitch for us to play on? Because first of all, besides 3 points, it's risky. The player was a Sundowns. What if they could have gotten injured? No, that's like kalutlwa le re bo mangiri nkomo bo mudao ba vela ko re le game aka e bona pila as much as I'm so pissed off. Always say we have to be kind to people when they always walk over us. Why can't we be vocal? Because right now, mafia. Like why was I and Rwanda is not a poor country. I get they always claim Rwanda is the next South Africa. They're gonna take over like it's the cleanest country in the continent. And happened the other thing, even those teams when they lost Rwanda, it wasn't raining. It was a proper surface here, FIFA, a bouncy, rubbery, no snow water lock. And this pitch, get home grand now. So there are used to these conditions. But aba like never staying because of like you can't play long ball to pace. Like one more na pace is short. Fine, maybe nga tumile ka bole pass le bo mokopa or me or le bona answer pace me pace and impact player and stuff, man. I'm so pissed kajoko. I don't know, like to lose like this. I don't mind losing, but to lose like this. Like who can need
Okay.
And no, before limputis aga bitch.
Karaki reja petwe. Karaki reja petwe ena. Wazabalaza kajenu kubo. Let me bring it. Tom, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Hey, I'm not well, my man. Hey, who is well today?
What's wrong, guys? What's wrong? We went to Rwanda, we lost. It happens. How did you see this game?
There were a lot of things that were frustrating, man, about... Okay, fine, I understand. Yeah, the conditions, the pitch, and all of that, and
Okay.
yeah, you could tell or some of the things were deliberate because in the middle, in the center of the park, cafe stuff, it was fine. They could play. It was just that our players were not smart. They couldn't figure that out. Yeah, but they couldn't figure that out. Which you can't still go to the wings because the ball was just slowing down and all of that. Yeah, one. So the one, okay, outside of the pitch, let's critique the performance now. Yeah, one. So first half, it shows me in this group of Bafana players, there are no leaders there. There are no leaders because someone was supposed to figure this thing out or no, man, guys. We can't keep trying to play out from the back. That's number one. Ne? They kept on trying to play it, and you could see in our press, Rwanda, when they were pressing us, they could potentially create moments for themselves. So, and then the second thing is that because of the conditions, don't allow the ball to bounce if there's someone over your shoulder, which is how Sibisi considered that goal. There was someone over his shoulders, and he allowed the ball to bounce.
Yeah.
Why? And he had an opportunity to just clear that ball. Yeah, but the second goal, again, Mutau does very well to dispossess the player, and then Warlex the conditions are normal. We're expecting like keeper to come and cover. I just didn't understand what happened there because he did the first part very well
Yeah.
to dispossess the player, and then he just let the ball get to the player again. So for me, it was the cheapest, silliest goals to concede, and from then it kind of clicked to the boys. But we can't really play our normal game. Some of them were trying, but I felt the game was lost by then.
Yeah.
The game was lost by then, and then the other thing is that we didn't force the issue enough. We didn't try to take shots. We only tried late on, very late in the game, to try and even attack, to create chances. I mean, I feel bad to say even Tembazwane disappointed me today. There was a sitter that he missed. I would call it a sitter because that was probably our best opportunity to score.
Yeah.
And then Mihlali also, but they tried very late. That's the other thing. That's the other thing. At some point, we were even saying the group chat with the keeper Rwanda was paid for nothing today because there were no shots, there were no attempts. And where second half they could now start to play their normal game, but there was no plan to break Rwanda down. Yeah, but in fact, they even got a chance where they shot go Ronwen and he made a good save. And I'm just thinking to myself, one, last on Saturday we were complaining about the second half performance, and then the other thing is that we've clearly seen that we don't have leaders, so this team doesn't have a soul in a way.
Yeah.
So for me, we need to find leaders. Bo CBC, we can blame them. Kulu, but we need leaders in the. I don't know with the defense what happened because those goals were just giveaways.
Yeah.
Rwanda didn't have to work too hard to get those goals for me. So that's the most disappointing part about today's game.
Okay. Let me bring in Hosi Samora Barogwa. Hey, how are you?
Uthi.
Hey, karele down ukajeno man. Karele down ukajeno. Uyibonishwa ke?
As always, I honestly speaking, like I didn't even waste my time like to watch the national team.
Yeah.
Understand? Because at the back of my mind, I had that thing. No, they will do well, and then 3 points about Walion. Understand?
Yeah.
Because it's Bafana Bafana against Rwanda. No one expected her like you understand? Only to be shocked at the results. Like it highlights, and then we like never expect it at all.
Okay.
Understand?
Yeah.
So all in all, man, it's so disappointing. Honestly speaking, it's so disappointing. I mean, OT. Let's be honest. There are certain countries in Africa You don't even expect it can be a shocker for Bafana Bafana. Let's talk about Bafana Bafana.
Yeah.
Those bo Ivory Coast to bo Cameroon, bo Senegal. Go for Bafana Bafana. You don't expect those kind of results. You understand? Because when we talk Rwanda, we hardly ever mention football. We talk anything else like more development there, and then lower like a financial system is growing, but we don't even dwell too much into football. And then only to find out Bafana Bafana here they are losing to Rwanda, and then at the end of the day, what does the coach has to say about that? What does the coach has to say about that? Because okay. I did something we don't have players following. They can lead in a way. You understand? We have players following. Even the coach, as we speak, I don't think he knows the strength of his players. Each and every player that you select, you have to know a strength of player A, and then ABC. You understand? But you just select players out of. Mahupa first of all, he's there just because of his squad against Kaizer Chiefs. That's the only reason he was selected. Otherwise, he's not a fancy player. Understand? OT. At the moment, I don't think Bafana Bafana coach, Kaizer Chiefs coaches, Orlando Pirates coaches, they are ready to go to step up and challenge Sundowns, because the way Sundowns is operating their football thing. Understand? So why don't you sit down with those players or your technical staff and try to understand? Okay, here is a defensive six. What are his strengths and what are his weaknesses? I mean, my guy, you can't lose to Rwanda. I mean, no. I know any kind of explanation. Okay. And the second thing, OT. Hence I'm saying this guy who selected Mahopa and certain players due to the fact that they performed for the last 2-3 games. Understand?
Yeah.
There are certain players who are Sundowns where players this into this barking games, it's Rwanda and all those things. Yes, we have certain players who Sundowns they can push other players to win games. Understand? But not players for example, Botemba those players tournament. Yes, he scored a goal last game, but Kitty players no chance at the moment. The rest because they still have to play for Sundowns. Understand? And then at the back of their mind, they still have that victory or no, we won this African cup. Understand? Give other players a chance. Bafana Bafana. We don't have to. Yes, Sundowns is doing well. It's doing great actually. Understand? But just because of we don't understand their philosophy.
Yeah.
Let's not pamper too much players more Bafana because taking maybe selecting 7 players to Sundowns and then only to find you play only 4. And then the rest of the players, they don't understand philosophy as Sundowns. Understand? They don't even understand how ball more and then the next thing Sundowns players, they understand their philosophy very well. Of which the rest of the 15 teams PSL, they don't even understand what is Sundowns trying to do. So we are gonna this previous game. No something Sundowns aside and then rest those guys. Understand? Because it's still early. Yes, it's still early. It's best to to gather points as early as possible, but it's still early. And then the very exciting players are Sundowns after they have rested enough. Understand? And then one thing a lot of coaches want to is the strength of the players select each and every time. You can't select players just because of Boma Hopa against Chiefs and then all of a sudden Omo national team. It shows a weakness in that guy. It shows how Liana self high or even Liana, there are certain games they'll already select or no. This one they can just play for fun. Even if they lose, it doesn't matter. To us, it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna jump in just for time. I'm gonna come back. I wanna go back to what I'm hearing from this. The theme of this is there's a lot of leadership deficiencies here, and Della, I want to ask you this question in two ways. Number one, part of selecting Sundowns players and part of selecting Abo PSC and these guys is that they have African experience and international experience. So is it too much to expect those players after 5 minutes on the pitch, things are going wrong here, or maybe we can't play our normal game. Maybe as players, we sit down and we go, okay, let's stop doing the thing that is not working, number one. And then number two, Hugo Bruce, the big selling point was that he's won AFCON and these things before. He knows Africa as well. But now we get to Rwanda. Yes, the pitch is a swimming pool, everything is wrong and all of that. But he couldn't adapt. Should we now question Bafana Bafana? They don't have a plan B. Should we now question these players who have adapt?
You know, Oti, asikwazi kakhulu ukubablame uPesitawu. Yeah, I feel like ama-matches Bafana Bafana, they were too relaxed. I feel like the loss against Rwanda, it was coming vele. We were gonna lose eventually. Like if you can check our past 5 games with against Swaziland, how can you draw in Swaziland?
Yeah.
It showed, it started there, how can you draw Nabo Namibia? Don't they were already cracks. We were starting to crack kancane. So namhlanje kuveli. So yes, we do have Pesita who are international players, Themba Zwane badlala Africa. They are supposed to be used to lama conditions lawo. And we can't really blame them for that because of no coach seems like is not helping his players, because as a coach you need to have a plan A, plan B and plan C. Seems like coach yena udlala nge-one way, uyi-train nje, udlala esiporweni one way, there's no other plan for yena. He knows ukuthi if umkwena is struggling, I'm gonna let umkwena struggle until kuze kuphela game. If Themba Zwane is struggling, I'm gonna let Themba Zwane continue the match until kuphela game. So akanayo uplan B. Yabona boxulu, I'm gonna make example ngoxulu noSibisi. Those uyababona ukuthi whenever sizoyana AFCON sizoshawa, and you can clearly see ukuthi uBros akana plan B for uxulu noSibisi. It's gonna play them ku-AFCON. Yabo le combination kaxulu no noSibisi seems like uyayithanda and it's not gonna change it. If uyayichange uzofaka umvala laphaya. Yes, umvala anginankinga naye. So lokhu kuyabonisa ukuthi uHugo Bros akanalo elinye plan. It seems like udlala into eyi-one yena, ama-players wakhe akawa-prepare as much. Seems like imagine uya ngokuthi, you know what guys, it seems like uyawa-programma too much because there's not enough freedom lapha. You can clearly see ukuthi ama-players adlaliwe, like it seems like aforced ukuthi guys go and play. But Bafana Bafana, these players need to know what's at stake here. They need to know how important qualifying for a FIFA World Cup is. South Africa, I'm talking about South Africa. It's very important. FIFA World Cup. Like the players need to be reminded. We can't be soft on players and say no, Bazami kanjani build everyone when Sakana 2010 ukudlala ku FIFA World Cup. The last time the last time Sakana ukudlala ku FIFA when Bafana Bafana ya qualifier direct, it was 2002 lap. So seems like my players now, they don't have that in mind. But we are playing for a country here. We are representing South Africa. Because of, you can't complain in a pitch, but come on. My teams are win bad conditions in Africa. Like you win sometimes. Like you are complaining in a pitch, but this was disappointing. So I'm gonna come into an coaching Hugo Bros. I feel like Hugo Bros, coach Cameroon, and at the time he won AFCON in Cameroon. Where you complain about the Cameroon Federation not sponsoring them, not giving them Imali hotel. There was a time that they didn't sleep at a hotel and stuff. I remember he was complaining about that, but with AFCON, like under best circumstances. So as coach Hugo Bros, he's been there in Africa. I feel like I understand Hugo Bros. Seems like here in South Africa is more relaxed. Like I remember, you know, Ogunye, we can't ask Hugo Bros. Is doing well. Hugo Bros have been hiding for a long time, have been hiding to coach a Kosafa Cup team, and we would say Kosafa Cup is not doing well. Why is Hugo Bros not coaching there? So those are one of those things to tell Hugo Bros uyanyatsa ucoach lo underestimate ama opponents. Why is Hugo Bros is not coaching Bokasafa Cup? It's one of those things those ukuthi uyanyatsa too much because of the team le Rwanda Bafana Bafana is the same quality that ama team adlala ku Kosafa Cup. There's nothing lapha. The only thing that engasho ukuthi yes they managed to outclass us and basit. So it's one of those things that OT engifila ngazathi Hugo Bros is not gonna last. After AFCON I feel like it's gonna go. If asifike kuma semi-final AFCON I feel like Hugo Bros his time is gonna end because now sizoba na 3 full years of qualifying for FIFA World Cup. So we don't want any mistake. And now kuyabonakala ukuthi kancane uHugo Bros uyacrack kancane too much favoritism because I feel like ama players uyawafavor like uyawafavor too much. Yabona for the fact ukuthi uNikomobi usasebenchini mina uNikomobi noma esebenchini I feel like akafuneki nasebenchini. There's ama players that are capable but now it's too late. Simbonile namhlanje ucoach uvele ukuthi uno plan A kuphela it doesn't have a plan B, plan A nje kuphela. So that's how Hugo Bros is. So sizoshawa nje ku-AFCON bafethu ngicela ukuthi siziprepareni for induku next year ku-AFCON if Hugo Bros azoqhubeka ne-favoritism yakhe. So we must be prepared ukuthi hayi sizoshawa angikuqamba manga.
Okay, let me go into Kumo. Is this South African football? You know, that plan A is not working. We just insist on plan A up until the end of the game. Nobody changes, nobody adapts. From the players' side, as experienced players, they carry on doing the same thing. From the coach's side, it doesn't seem like we have a plan B. We've spoken before here that we still don't know if there's a second squad of Bafana Bafana or if there's a different squad that can play a different football. Should we start asking questions on both fronts?
This can never be South African football, but rather Soweto football. Because we have a thing called the chameleon way. Meaning we adapt to different scenarios, situations, and tactics, right? So a lot of people are saying there's no leadership. Why can't people do what they want if they can see where this play is not working? But you forget what type of a man your coach is. That guy is sure. You should try some new tactics. As I approve, I don't at the same time because history wants this guy arrogant and offer pressure. You're gonna play to a certain way, and if you do something different, also blame the media forever because it's not been even. So man, South African football is better than this. I still maintain you can say Hore, I'm just looking at factors because we've seen how great they work at the first round. We enjoyed their football, their passing, their tactics and stuff. Mara, today the pitch, guys, we can't really. I know we like to be against Bafana and we're not gonna make excuses. But on this excuse, effect, guys, have you ever played football on a football comes to on a cement? The ball bounces off, blah blah blah. It's difficult. It's wet. There's no accuracy. There's a lot of factors that went in Rwanda's favor. So. We have a squad. They honestly like some of the players here are not the best.
Okay.
Like Lishile Bo Bo Barkman Kau to Corena, Warena. What's among this guy Olomuratang? Who plays well from the back?
Oh, Kutsia.
Yeah, you left Kutsia, you took Putulu CV. So you show your one story. There are so many players. Boba Zering, I don't know why you didn't pick. Not only Kutsia, there are so many players who want to logo pirate. Hey, Bruce, what can we say?
Okay. Let me go to Baronga. Tell me, Hosi Baronga, tell me. The players coach plan B. Can we start asking questions of those things? Because obviously it's very nice when we're playing FNP, Moses Mapita, the pitches are nice, we understand the environment. But isn't this now showing us that when you go to other countries, you have to have a different plan available and the players have to be able to adapt?
You see, OT, sometimes it's not all about trying to adapt in a situation like as we favor at all. Understand? Because of it's 11 against 11 in a pitch, yes, but here we need leadership. Understand? Ne ke ratile too much manzo this guy ba re ke mang Shakes Mashaba, Ntate Shakes Mashaba.
Yeah.
He used to say these words, or like, in absence of the best, make the West the best.
Okay.
Understand? So even if like you don't have your best squad, I mean, as a captain, you shouldn't be just a captain, be a leader. And then each and every player is selected. You should select leaders into a match. Understand? Firstly, they saw like that pitch. Because when you like a pitch inspection, and then like you just walk around like inspecting a pitch, or like how will it feel when you touch actually the game starts. Understand?
Yeah.
But I click into a mobile or no, guys, something is wrong here. Something is wrong here. I mean, recently, I mean, no idea like against Madagascar. Some few years back, we played Madagascar like Modima fake loan. What kind of a FIFA play is that?
Yeah.
Understand? Okay. Yeah. As Safa or Bafana Bafana launch a complaint against like more African Federation, or no, we cannot play into this kind of like barking football pitch. It's not like that's the only football pitch they have in Rwanda. So it has to be, from the start, it has to be a 50-50 situation. Understand? Because we are all fighting for 3 points. But it shows like Lemo coach or like he's not a leader himself. And then when I learn to allow no, so don't select the captain and then the rest of the players get a player. Instead of we need leaders. Because other African teams, they select leaders. Even if you are not a leader, they give you that attitude, that mentality, or no, you are a leader today because of like you are playing against this weak Bafana Bafana. I'm sure even they even call us or we are weak. Understand?
But do we have leaders in South African football? Like off the top of, can you think of a couple of leaders in South African football? Maybe called PSL, people who've come through the Bafana ranks, or is it just really good players?
OT, you know, I saw something go Khuliso Mudau when Pirates was playing against Sundowns, MTN final. Remember, Khuliso Mudau didn't finish that game due to injury. You understand? At some polar kikoki or kemang island while Khuliso Mudau was sitting down. You know, as players, you have to show that sportsmanship. You understand? Okay, the player is there injured, and then you're trying to comfort the player. I mean, Khuliso Mudau got like nakapela this Pirates player like Mato. Don't touch me. As if like I'm injury. We need those kind. Because like in everyone saying that mentality of leadership. You understand? You are not my teammate. I don't have to go like to beg you or like we need that attitude that the players are Sundowns. Some of them, that attitude by this player to some of the PSL teams, more especially against big teams, Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates. We need them to display that kind of mentality and attitude. Kodi players in South African football, we do have them. Unfortunately, when they get to Bafana Bafana, maybe they are given these soft drinks, more like it cools down their adrenaline or whatever. I can understand, but we do have leaders. We do have them.
Okay, no, thank you so much, Samora Barogwa. Let me go to Tuso. Welcome to the show. How are you? You can just unmute there, Tuso. There we go. I think something's with the mic. It sounds a bit. Are you very close to it? I don't know. Can we just try again?
Okay, can you hear me now?
There we go. That's better. Tell me, Tuso, when we look at this game, I want to go straight into the question of, fine, we have the swimming pool pitch and it's wet and everything is wrong. Players aren't adapting. Coach is not adapting. Should we have a problem with that we don't have a plan B for these type of situations?
Okay. I've been listening to a lot of complaints and comments. So now my point of view, guys, this is our team. This needs to be built. We need, at the end of the day, we need to know our level. I feel
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, we are judging our soccer team based on what the world wants.
Okay.
You understand? Sundowns is not where it is right now because of we all know how Sundowns struggle to be where it is today. Sundowns never started today. We have plus minus 20 years of Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates supporters laughing at Motsepe for buying players, buying this, buying that, buying this, up until he got the system right. So even us with the national team, this national team that we have now is not a national team that we're going to say we are proud of because they're going to win something. But they are going to leave a building foundation for the next generation that is coming. We need to start building. It's the same thing with the stadium attendances. Stadiums are not going to be full now. They're not going to be full this year. But if we build onto that, you understand? So the pitch, based on today's game, the pitch was horrible, guys. Yes, we can't have an excuse for them. But look at that pitch.
Yeah.
Look at how that pitch is. Even Sundowns would have lost to that pitch. We're not making excuses for the coach. We're not making excuses for the players. But everyone saw the game. It's not like they played where there's no cameras and then they came and said, hoo-ha, the game went. We saw the pitch, how terrible it was. And we also need to understand that all those players that are there, guys, they are doing their best.
Yeah. No, look, I understand what you're saying. But when we look at the game, can't we ask questions of, there's a puddle there. You've passed it through the puddle 2 times and it stopped. Let's try something different, because part of the selling of this team was that these are players with African experience. This is the coach, Hugo Bruce, with African experience. They understand that when you go into Africa, you're going to have 5-hour drives from the airport to wherever. You're going to play in harsh environments. Are we not just letting them off easy when we say that? And it's not to say that we are saying that they must be disbanded or whatever. Can't we question some of those things?
No, we can question them. Don't get me wrong. We can question them. But those players, how many times have other teams experienced such a thing? Right now, everyone is making an example with Sundowns because Sundowns play there each and every season. You understand? That's what I'm saying. Let's judge them based on the level of Africa, guys. Don't judge them because you say we are better than Namibia. What makes South Africa better than Namibia? Why is it a shock that Namibia can beat us, but we are in the same? You understand? We are in Africa. There's a reason why we are all in Africa. When you say that because we are better than them because of the league, England has the best league, but every time they are losing the World Cup. So even if we get beaten by Zimbabwe, even if we get beaten by Nigeria, those people, even if us, we believe that we are better than them, but let's not forget that standard-wise, we are the same, guys.
Are we losing to the quality of Rwanda, though? So if you put Rwanda next to Bafana Bafana, is it a stretch to say that you expect a bit more from those players?
Yes, we expected more from South Africa, but with the conditions that happened, I feel like if the conditions were not like that, the scoreline wouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
That's on, and I know everyone in the panel, even you know, if the pitch was okay, everything was fine, Bafana was going to win that match.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not gonna make that stretch. I'm not gonna make that stretch. Because the 2 goals you conceded were, I don't think they were pitch related, but I'm gonna come back. Let me let in Velile. Velile, how are you, my brother?
Hey, mtakababa.
Unjani mtakababa?
Hayi, saseyele leyo ndaba.
Ngitshele, ama-player wethu awadapthi, asina plan B. Uthini ngale ndaba?
Before ngaya lapho kunemidlalo edlalayo le e-Europe ngathi ama-UEFA qualification if anginamali.
Yeah.
And kudlala ama-team ase-Europe angithi aqualifyela i-World Cup now yini, I don't know. And they are playing at the same Euro level. Khona amadoda athole 14. Kuyatshengisa ukuthi noma singaba same continent kodwa ama-team angabe team khona kumele ishawe nje. We cannot Sikuthi compete nabo Namibia nabo Swaziland. We are too good for them. Kahle kahle.
Mm,
Those one nabo Rwanda nje yeah.
mm,
Coming to the game, just leyo ndaba leyo ukuthi if we are playing the same level e-Africa, kakhona la e-Africa kumele sibashaye ngabelanga sikhompete nje even nabo. We cannot talk about one. But if since we are struggling against abo Swaziland before, so there is no way we can win this. And if Mangoti Apeganya's on this one now, perhaps I was a comment one, and the only person who can whom we are always on the same agreement on the same level now with you, Nyaz Biezala. Bruce. I've told you before, Uguti Agnalasia Kona Bruce. He's been here, and I think now it's a third year or fourth year. And as I've said before, with the previous World Cup or qualifier Ghana was there for the taking. We had the COVID on our side, which our best players from Ghana now they were not allowed to come into South Africa.
Yeah.
And Hugo Bruce messed that up by not selecting the best players. Even up until today, he continued from the second half yesterday. If we are watching the game, he continued from the second half yesterday. Of which is our coach. Lo esithi so qualify ngaye. Angazi because our next game, the World Cup qualifier, is against Nigeria. I think in June next year.
Yeah.
And I can bet you, yabo laba bakhona Nigeria, they will fire their plumber next year in AFCON. By the time face Tina, they will fix their mess up. Tina by so keep up a calculator. Kusibale nemaseyophela ukuthi yes so qualified because even if we can, I don't think if ukuthi sizoba even na best second team because kana abantu abangayiboni and say ukuthi no kusasenama qualifier after no 9 groups, all number ones they are going. The best second group yezodlala ama qualifier. There's one spot. If asiyiboni lento lena angazi ukuthi these are World Cup qualifiers, guys. We have to select our best players for each and every position. We cannot compromise it. Uguti said no, we are building. We cannot build. This is a national team. We are building with under 17, under 23. Nagukosaf. This is a senior South African national team. You select the best players because you are not building. You won't even coach that player. You only put them into a system. You've got 3 to 4 days. 3 to 4 days to prepare them to play and win the game. So, if we are going now to lower the standard now and said we are building, for how long have we been building? Select the best players. Even today, and it was kind of if we say our players are overseas, group overseas. I don't know udlala kuphi overseas. Umayambe I don't know badlala kuphi overseas badlala kanjani. But I can bet you in today's game he's not better than uZungu obekungumkwena ebenchini. Because if you can look umkwena kuSundowns got a direct competition no Zungu ambeke ebenchini, but that guy I can tell you is better than lo bekadlala. So on our national team we cannot compromise. The coach needs to stand up situation.
Oh,
sorry.
guys, please mute.
See, the coach need to stand up because we have seen that in the first 10 minutes, we can see good the pitcher is giving us problem. You cannot play back passes the break. Immediately do that in the first 10 minutes. The coach need to shout at them and tell the guys, and the bone would let the inside because our pitch that is women them. The same team they've seen that. They've changed the tactics immediately, went higher. They've worked good one. And they've scored 2 quick goals, and then they close shop. That's what it's called intelligence about the coach. And they won the match. Besides, they are not best. They are not. They just changed the strategy at that point of time, and then it worked for them immediately. And they just closed. They understood what are they there for, to qualify for a World Cup spot. You don't need to play pretty. You don't need to give to make favors for people. Imagine on a World Cup qualifier, you are losing 2-0 away game. You are heading up a debut to that player, Polokwane City. Like really? Away debut, 2-0 down. You give a player a debut. There's no way you can be the guys. You give players debut Kukosafa. When it comes to World Cup qualifiers, they need to perform. Those guys are getting paid. And I don't understand why the reason they have to leave even Izolo, Exeni, Bahlele Tegwini since Saturday. They should have just took the flight, go straight to Rwanda and prepare for the same condition as what again. People need to take their job serious here. Akunamuntu ozobahola labantu. So
Okay.
izinto ziyakwati ziphathisa kabuhlungu man. But at least now at least abokhumo nabo Sundowns ba understand ukuthi sihlala sifila kanjani nabo bafila kayi-1 njengathi. Serious. No, serious. Guys.
Melile.
Oh.
Let me go.
No.
Let me go to Master Icon. Master Icon, welcome to the show. How are you? Hey, Eric, check your network. Is this network fine? Master Icon, are you with me? Okay, we'll come back. Clifford, how are you?
I am fine, boss, and you?
No, I'm good. Clifford, tell me. I've got 2 questions for you regarding this. Okay, pitches aside and everything aside, does the team have a plan B? Should they have a plan B? And then number 2, our players, our coach, they don't adapt to these environments and changes. You know, should we expect more from them in that regard?
You know, last week, I'm laughing and reading the comments here. Last week, we spoke about this. It was a hype that South Africa did win. It was a big hype here. But I said it again. We need to start building from the under 17 and the 15. We need to start from scratch. These players get a lot of money. They don't feel like they need to perform. So why are they there? You see? Look at this young boy from I think he's from Cape Town Spurs that scored against Kune. Where's his peers that is growing up with him? Batman, where's his peers that is growing up with him where he could see, okay, there's a face or 2 people of mine that I know, I've played with them. So when you groom all of them together, when they come to the national team, they know each other 100%. That's what the Germans does. That's what the England players do. So in South Africa, there's a problem. Could politics too much. Then Jordan is there. Let it stand off. Makono, Dr. Kumalo. There's a lot of people that can take over. Saturdays we are in stadiums. There's nothing happening. We are only talented corner, so we need to start really from small and just groom the boys up to get there where they are. Overseas is the best thing that can happen to our ball. And Tuso believe in South Africa and Bafana, but I really don't know. We can blame the condition isn't so good, but that is one thing that we know when we go to Africa. The pitch is not always so great. That's something that we know. You see? So from my side, I don't see really the boys to perform and want to perform. We can qualify, yes, but what we're going to go do at the World Cup, I don't even think we will qualify. What we're going to do, we'll just say, okay, we was there at the World Cup. And you go, bros, Imali, in you we in South Africa, what can we do? All these coaches are coming to come fetch the money. Later on, such a family, I got greasy, Netherlands, vacation, this stuff. Said it is so. But that's how it is.
And should we expect more from a Bruce, for example, in terms of the squad building? Because fine, you come out, you see that the game is not working one way, or maybe you should have prepared for something like this, where then you can go, you know what, guys, short passes are not working. I've got a team, I've got people on the bench that I can bring in and play a different way. Is there an issue that South Africa doesn't have that? It seems to be plan A, and if plan A doesn't work, we're done.
Yeah, it's plan A all the way. If plan A doesn't work, then we are done. And when we saw it today, there's no plan B. You can see you pass the ball, but the 1-2 is not working. Why you don't play the ball then up? You see? But now what we do, we have Hugo Brosia. He don't want to. There's not almost like there's no communication between him and the league and with the players, the different teams. So that's why I'm saying Hugo can go, get Pizzo in, give him time as they've given this guy Hugo time, but let there be structures from 15, 17, 19 upwards. It goes. Let there be structures. Because no structures, we won't go anywhere. Sure, boss.
I wanna go up to Tuso. Tuso, I wanna look at it from a different way. Is there a hint of complacency, and did we need a result like this to maybe get us back down? And as much as people don't want to admit that maybe Bruce has done a good job, maybe us expecting a win from Rwanda the players, us as fans, maybe the coach as well, went into this game maybe thinking that, man, it's a foregone conclusion, is a good reminder that we need to, man, wake up a bit.
It's true what you're saying. It's very true what you're saying, but we should have woken up from this. You remember the game that we had before this one? The second half of that game.
Yeah.
That was supposed to wake us up to say, okay, you know what? Yeah, here we are in trouble. But what I want to ask you, and maybe ask the panel as well, is what are the expectations from you guys? What are your expectations with Bafana Bafana? Because I feel like maybe the problem is there. You understand? The problem is that maybe we expect Bafana Bafana to be African giant. And we are not even close to being an African giant. There's still Egypt, there's still Cameroon, there's still Nigeria. We're still very, very far off from being an African giant, let alone talk about the World Cup. You understand? When you say Namibia is a small country, it's better than us. What have we won? When have we won it? I mean, I think our history goes back to 1995 or 1994. I think.
Well, then maybe I can start with you. What are your expectations of Bafana Bafana?
That's the thing. Now, as long as they, firstly, with this generation that we have now, if they qualify and probably win the AFCON, probably. If they don't win it, I'm not going to blame them.
Okay.
Because we are still playing, we're still depending on Zwane, who's 34 years old. I mean, come on. You understand? Look at those players that we are depending on. So if they qualify and probably win, I'll be very happy. Even if they don't win, I'll be happy. The next generation that's going to come after them, then we can put pressure on them and say they must win the AFCON. Sure for cash. Sure for cash, they must win it. And then as you go, the expectations will grow. But this team that we have right now, guys, stop blaming the coach. Even anyone, even Pito himself, when once he goes there, he has to change everything. Everyone that is playing there is old, guys.
Okay. Oh, no, okay. Let me go to Velila. Velila, I'll ask you the two questions. Was it a bit of complacency? Now who's winning 12? Maybe the players thought, the players and the coach and everybody thought, you know what? So Rwanda is 3 points in the bag. Did they have a bit of that when they went even about travel plans? Why ningahambanga Saturday so that you can properly prepare? And then secondly, I wanna ask the question that Tusa's asking. What is our expectation of Bafana Bafana, and are they maybe too high?
Mtakababa, you say this cat empilweni, you must always very aim high. You must not short sell yourself empilweni. The bar must always be high. Be high. We are former African champions in 1996. 98 we came second. 2000 with Trotmoloto we came the third. We qualified for World Cup up until 2002. So ezinye izinto we've made them for ourselves, and the coach we're selecting players that could play for them.
Yeah.
If we say these players they're not good, who selects them? Who? Because it's the coach. And I even said last week that, guys, Hugo Bros, you won 12 games. Look at those games that he won and the draws. Did you look at them and say, yeah, no, see, we're just short selling ourselves here. Those are not the game that you can even brag about and say you've win those games. Hugo Bros is going for 4 years now. He refused to coach Kosafa Cup. Those players like Upupu are saying that there's a guy at Egypt, Cape Town. Those are the players at 17 that they need to go for to play at Kosafa. Coached by Hugo Bros. Not Kulando Umunyumutu and coach them, and then Hugo Bros must come and coach Masagoma qualify. If
Hugo is not part of the technical staff. I understand if maybe Ramuravuli was part of Hugo Bruce's staff as well.
Yes, he's not even there. He's not even Umkelele or his assistant coach there. So ezinye izinto asingathi siblame kakhulu thina and not to face the truth. The coach here has got the responsibility to build South Africa. It's 4 years now he's been to South Africa. By now, Hugo Bruce should have got the best players, the core of the team. Okama esenza find ayikho into esenzayo. If you look at the game that Ringo Bruce won, there's no structure. Go Bafana Bafana that this is how we play. That's what I'm saying. You cannot in 4 years you give a player a day, we go 2-0 away. And that player, he's playing for Polokwane City, guys. I don't even play for Kosafa. Nothing. Doesn't have any international experience. As years ago, we were just killing our players. That player can start okay, go Kosafa, or on a friendly and adapt to international standard. But our just coach is just failing us, and I think we mustn't let him get away with this. As much as yes, we've always blamed the administration, yes, we know. But on this one, even the games that he won, they were not convincing. You know, that's why I started by saying he continued from the second half yesterday. So I, bafowethu inhliziyo zibuhlungu yazi ngeke silala kabuhlungu kanje. No man.
Okay, no.
Sengathi samafene Chiefs. No.
Hayi man, siyekeni man. Hayi man. Hey Vina, Belile. Yabo. Hey, nathanda ukusifaka sisihlelele khoneni sinjoya ukuthi there's nothing happening on our side. Master Icon, are you with me? Okay, I think Master Icon is not there. Clifford, are we getting, did we see these 12 wins that Bruce had and then set our bars so high that maybe the players thought, you know what, Rwanda is a walkover, number one. And then number two, what expectations do you have for this Bafana team?
You know, like Velile said, now look at the 12 games that they've won against who it is and who they drawn, all that. We must look, we must be serious with this. You see, you go, bros, ask yourself, why did it take us to France, go play France? Wasn't that supposed to be eye-opening for the guys to say, okay, here's the opportunity, show your hands and get some experience here just for this 90 minutes. What did we build from France game that we lost, you see? The other thing is this, from my point of view, for Bafana, it's not like Sikali Zolo Nepal. 95 we won, 94, 95 we won, Sayazi Paul. Why can't we just put ourselves there against Egypt, against Algeria, against Ghana, against Ivory Coast? Why? Why this big pants? No, we still need to go, and isn't that as long? That's a long vision that we're looking to. Let's try. This is a World Cup qualifier. There's one Chepo guy that is gone now. He's talking about, no, we have to build slow. How many times, how long will it take for us to build? That's the point. There's no time, you see. So from my point of view, let's take these youngsters and focus on them and groom them. These guys are getting paid a lot of money, so the attitude is there. Why should I go to work if I know I'm not going to go to the work, but I know for sure 50,000 or 150,000 they're going to give me tomorrow. I will be at home, sitting at home. I won't perform. I won't do my duties right because I know I'm getting paid a lot. Our players don't want to go overseas. Kune was supposed to go overseas. Even this people of Sundowns, what's his name? Baron
Williams.
Williams is supposed to go to overseas. He's still young. Now ask yourself, why is he not going overseas? Yes, he have experience here. Not that I'm saying we are much worse than Europe. Yes, we are. But my thing is, why don't you go overseas and go pick up some experience, then come back with that experience? So it's a problem of money issues as well in our country, in our league, and this is the big teams that are killing us. One thing I like from what Vele also said is, Velile said is, you know, you get a player that perform once today. Sorry, I'm just gonna use any team. Maybe here by Free State Stars or whatsoever. They call him up to the national team. He played 4 or 5 games, maybe nice day, he scored 3 goals. They call him up, national team, he get number 9 t-shirt, he must perform for the team. You put him against Spain, he can't do anything. So we are really far. We are really far. We are really far. Look, here's the under-17 World Cup. Where are we?
Yeah. Do we have an under-17 team? Well, who's in the under-17 team?
You see? You see? So we need to ask ourselves really questions, and those are there on top. They should really give answers to us because this is taxpayers' money and they are living out of this money. And at the end of the day, we love the ball, but there's nothing to show. That's why our kids don't even look anymore PSL. They run for the English Premier League, they run for the Spanish League, for the Bundesliga because they see what's happening that side. You see?
Okay.
But
no.
Yeah.
Clifford,
It's
thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna bring
Sure, boss.
in the next panel, the final panel for tonight. Then we can let me see, finish off the Oh, okay, that was weird. Let's see who's here.
Sila.
Okay, welcome. Ira mare ke qale ka tio ka order. Ke zamile go kenya mare go kika out pele. Ke atla. Tio. Hey, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
You know what? Me, I'm okay. I've got two questions for you. Firstly, how did you see the game? And then secondly, are we... It's one loss out of 13 games. Are we making this too much of a big deal?
Let me greet you. Let me greet the panel. Sorry for coming late. How are you, load shedding? We talked about this thing last week. Even Velile is attesting to what we said. Our Kuto, they came for us. No, guys, give him time. Even agent in the group today, we were saying the same thing. Guys, we're not attacking the coach. We don't have a problem with the coach. The thing is, consistency is key. You have a Sundowns team that is doing wonders. Why are you not using them to their strengths? You have a Mudau, you have a Mudiba. They are doing the works. You know, you come into you want them to fit into your system that is opposite to how they play. You watch this game today, guys. Forget the weather. Let's stop complaining about the weather or the pitch. It was not only South Africa playing in that pitch. Rwanda also played in the same pitch. So let's not complain about the pitch. Guys, if football has two things, let's understand. It's either you score or you defend. And if you are defending, you need to know, if you are not going to score, you're going to have a problem if you're going to defend. You go to this game today, it's like what you always ask. Urulani, they ask him questions, he answers them. Today, we had questions. How many shots on targets did we have? How many ball penetrations did we have? How many dangerous attacks did we have? Like, those are things are basic. Second half, that's nearly pitch and nani. I asked in the group, Ngati, why is Ox not in and take out Sitole? You drop Oxy, Udlala like as a defensive midfielder deep. Then you release Mudau, you release Uba Lumpana Lodlala ngapaka left Mudiba. And then you tell Uba Lumpanumko, I want you to take the ball and carry it, give it to Zwane. Zwane, I asked the question, are we going to play around Zwane? Or we're not going to play around Zwane. We need to choose. Uzwane cannot be busy fetching balls from the back. Guys, it's simple textbook football. If our coach knows, Uguti, you know, as he said yesterday, guys, we only want results. Today, where are the results again? And we said, it's not about results. Play good football, get results. Play good football, we win. Last week, we had to play good football, we didn't. We got results. Today, we're supposed to get results. Play and get results. Good football. Species forced to take attacking for what reason? The worst part, guys, Songwan had a terrible game last game. You bring him in today, he has a terrible game. You bring him second half, Uzom keeping in 5 minutes. What kind of a coach like Uschelan? You have Muba Nomfana Loebega Musa as a striker lap. You have only pass on the bench. You understand? Umayambela. You have only pass on the bench, a striker. You're gonna take Umayambela Umfaka Lapa Pambil. First half, he was nowhere to be seen. Come second half, when Lipasa comes in, then you put him in his position, he gets a shot on target. Then you're gonna come to us and say we must not blame the coach. Who must we blame? No, guys, this was just in South Africa. I said it. And I can figure my semi-final AFCON. I promise. I put my head on the block. We're not gonna even get to the semi-final of AFCON. I promise you.
Okay. Malome Kutso, I hope you're wearing your cape because today you need that thing, man. Hey, today's been going well. How are you, my brother?
I'm well, and how are you, Mr. OT?
I'm good. Two questions. How did you see the game today? And then secondly, are we overreacting? 13 games, one loss.
My man, because I'm busy and I'm not going to say much.
Okay.
I'm just going to say one thing. Victory has many fathers and defeat is an orphan. Buya namuhla. It's all pros. No one wants to take credit. Just last week, we were being told that Sundowns is the best. That's why he's winning. He's taking a blueprint. Namuhla, it's all him. Victory has many fathers, but defeat is an orphan. Move, Mr. OT.
Okay, I not driver. 10 left, Mo. Raul or could anyone left? Kolani, welcome to the show. How are you? Let me see. Hey, Kolani, Ikare network, man. Okay, it's fine. I'm gonna come back. Sinjay, on the banner. How are you?
But Georgie, how are you?
I'm good. Hey, Mara, you've got too much energy. It's the hour today. Tell me, CJ. 2 questions. How did you see the game today? And then, second question, are we overreacting?
I don't think you are overreacting. Let me start with the second question. The first one, Rwanda came to this match having done their homework.
Okay.
They studied Bafana Bafana very well. I think they also studied Sundowns, and they saw Ugoti where are the loopholes. It's not a coincidence that both their goals came from both their strikers, which is a good thing. When you're going to play a 4-4-2 and both the strikers make it to the back of the net, that tells you that you've done your homework very well. They saw Ugoti umkhulisi Umudau likes to turn and bamgqumisa on his left, on his blind side, and Pierre, that guy, I think it studied his movement very well, because if you look at how he stole that ball from him, you could see that it's something that he studied. He dummied him on the left, and he knew that he likes to trap the ball and turn around and play it from the back, and it worked well. And the pitch as well, they played it to their advantage. I think they knew South Africa have not played a game in AstroTurf, in particular in a rainy weather. And the anticipation of the ball, the anticipation of the movement of the ball was lacking in South Africa. And I think Rwanda capitalized on that. Because when they are playing the ball, they're not sure where the ball is going to land. They played with anticipation that it's going to reach its target, and it doesn't. And they lost a lot of balls in the middle, which they turned it. Rwanda turned it into their own advantage. Brilliant! The number 3 did. He studied Tau very well, nullified Tau, knew that he's a playmaker for Bafana Bafana, and also Uchemba Zwane as well. The 2 central defenders, the Rwanda. I think that those guys. Look, let's not play around. Those guys did their homework. They did their homework on Bafana Bafana very well. I don't think Bafana Bafana did as an intensive research on Rwanda as Rwanda did on Bafana Bafana. And for me, that is what separated the two teams. Is that the other ones, they did their homework very well, and they played to their advantage very, very well. It's frustrating because you look at the group and you're like, Nigeria has just drawn against Lesotho. South Africa is the only one that has a victory on the group. They've got a victory on the first game. Get a second victory. You are sitting at 6 points. Now everyone is going to be chasing you. And I think that's where the frustration of the rest of the country is coming in, is that we could be determining the group now. Now we are going to go next year chasing the group. You know what I mean? Where we could have collected these 6 points and set at a better position than the rest of the country. I mean, the rest of these countries. And I think that's where the frustration really comes in. It's not a matter of 12 games and 1 loss. It's a matter of this game could have been us being in control of the group.
Okay. Let me go back to Theo. Theo, are there small teams in this year's tournament? Because Bonabo Lesotho frustrating about Nigeria. Bonabos Banbani losing. I saw somebody saying Comoros won a game versus somebody they weren't meant to. Senegal drew. Are there small teams this tournament? Should we be expecting wins? Oh, Theo. Network. Hey, network. Malumakuto, are you still with me?
Yeah, no, I'm still with you. I'm still with you.
Are there small teams? Should we have the mentality that there are small teams in these tournaments?
No, there are definitely small teams. No? Akhona ma small teams. Unfortunately today, Mr. Uti, barishapile ka skelem. Barishapile ka skelem. Bar Kenya ko swimming pool, wabo. They took care of us. You understand? They knew what they were doing. As soon as the pitch dried up, I saw them struggle to maintain the pressure, and we almost scored. You understand? Unfortunately, labantu laba sibakayila ama-goal, Mr. Oti.
Yeah.
Sibakayila ama-goal. Bolo and sibakaya ngenxa ye-pitch. Ngenxa ye-pitch sibisi bolo i-pitch itse arotosha pasiza kanti the pitch is gonna do the things, and the best right back in the country, the one we've been crying for, the one we've been saying to prosne apartheid, the one we've been targeting who cross over, the one we've been calling for, praying for, fasting for. Aisharishis. Mda urjisitse, guys. Arska yankwaleko. Mda urjisitse. Tempers on urjisitse. They miss open net. Open net aliwa. Then ipalunde. Disguided. Pesitao. Natlaka 1-on-1 le batho mo urjisitse pesitao.
Yeah.
He could have tapped in. Guys, in as much as in Rwanda, yeah, they were lucky ka pitch yabona. They're not a small team.
Nazo? Okay, it's fine. We'll come back if he's still there. Sinje, are there small teams in this tournament? Should we come into these tournaments thinking that there's small teams that we can take advantage of? And how much did mentality play into today, man?
Look, I don't think that. Yeah, you can. It depends on how you view a small team. If you are going to if you are going to view a small team on the basis on the mentality that I am stronger, I am bigger, I have got more ammunition, they are little, then you are going to be smacked behind your back like we did today. But if you view them as more hungrier, they've got a point to prove, then you prepare yourself as much as you can say they're small, but you know they're gonna come out gun blazing.
Yeah.
And I don't think Bafana Bafana was anticipating a Rwanda coming with gun blazing as well. I hear Malume Kuto saying that we beat ourselves. No. Rwanda capitalized. Those are very calculated mistakes. They were not just random. It is not what we as chiefs do. Just give the ball and let Sundowns win. It wasn't a case of that. I think the boys knew that yes, South Africa is more stronger. Yes, South Africa is more. Their league is better than us. Yes, their player in terms of profile, South Africa is more well off than us. But they realize good there are loopholes, and we are going to exploit them. And if you are going to say small teams based on that, then you are going to be in trouble. You are going to be in trouble. And even the second half, Rwanda could have scored 2 more goals. Lucky last save by Rowan Williams there. Decision making from the number 10 who came in second half, they could have easily beat South Africa 5-0.
Okay.
They could have easily beaten them 5-0.
Let me see if Theo is online. Theo, are you back with me? Kenzani network.
Hey, yabona lama renate lawa. Hey, ziyakhala.
Tell me, are there small teams in Africa, or are we gonna get hurt thinking like that? And how much did mentality play into this game?
And I also wanted to comment on this. Guti, we are busy saying things that are very terrible, guys. Imagine saying, Guti, yeah, Rwanda, beaten this team, Nigeria lost to this team. Guys, we should not even be thinking like that, Actually, these teams, we should be saying every team to us must be Ugudla weight. We should be eating every team, not even thinking, Uguti, you know, we're gonna play against Nigeria, so Nigeria is a big team. There's no such, guys. There's 9 players on the, I mean, there's 11 players on the pitch. The best team will win. You know, last week we made our own luck by ricochets, Mudau scores. We never complained. We said we had a good game. Today, Bumdao, they make mistakes. Then we come and say this guys make mistakes. No, there's no such thing. Like imagine that 18-year-old that came in second half, Loyo Rwanda. That boy was having fun, man. And it took me back to the topic that you once had. Is it wrong to stylish and nani? I was listening to the commentators. They even said that's what that boy will have to do. So if you're gonna say that's a small team in Rwanda, watch what they did. South Africa was the one busy chasing the ball. They were having fun, enjoying the game. So if you say that's a small team, then that shows good. In truth, South Africa was the small team today. So if we have that mentality, Mr. Uti, it shows that we are already defeated. How can you play against Cote d'Ivoire, be able to hold them 1-0, and then we're gonna play them again? Are we still gonna able to hold them 1-0 again? They might beat us. But if they beat us, then what are we gonna say? Are they still the big team now? I was watching our rankings as well, guys. Rankings means nothing. You go to in North America, in Colombia, beaten in Brazil, I think. Uruguay, beaten in Argentina. Are you gonna say those are small teams? No. You plan on the day, you execute your plan today, you win. You cannot. Someone's gonna say, yeah, maybe they underestimated you. No, but Oksala, you had the plan, you win. Bruce today had no second, there's no plan B. So you cannot come and say South Africa was the best team. A best team how when there was no plan B. These guys had the plan B. As Asho, they could have scored the second goal. They could have done worse damage today. You look at that shot that they took, Lapak Williams, because they were a better team. It was not Uguti, it's a small team. You plan on the day. Rulani even said this, Uguti. You go to a pitch knowing, Uguti, I have to have my strengths and my weaknesses, and how do I best cover my weaknesses? You do that, they will never be a small team, guys. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever, Kutso, do you want to finish off there? Are you back?
No, I'm still here, Mr. Uti. I'm still here.
I can call him or something.
I know, so. But anyway, let me say in closing, right? Bafana Bafana have lost their first game in 13. You understand? In 13 attempts, we've lost the game. Let's not be too hard on the boys. And I was not really coming after Utemba or Muta. I was just merely connecting combo with the.
Oh, go on again. There we go. We're back.
Yeah, I'm still here. I can see being get some for me tonight. We need to just. Scusa.
There we go. Okay, guys. I think, look, for me to wrap it up, many things can be true. Bafana Bafana have had a very nice run of 12 games and had a very nice run of 12 games unbeaten. Very true. Also true is that plenty of those games, Hugo Bruce came out and questioned the mentality of the boys, questioned why we're playing like this, questioned why we let games go. So for me, I honestly think that sometimes things catch up to you. The last few games we played, we barely managed 2 goals, right? So the question would then become, what happens when you get into a tough game and you need to score 2-3 goals? How do you come back from that? Will they be able to come back from that? Is Makopa enough? Is Aboshongwane enough? Is Abotawe enough? When they haven't shown us that they've been incredible over the past few games, right? And eventually that type of thing catches up to you. We've had questions about what happens when you need to change your style of play. There's a thing that happens in South African football where you have plan A, you go out with plan A, you don't have a change of what happens. What happens when I get to Rwanda and the pitch is wet? What happens when I get to Rwanda and it's long ball football? Maybe the pitch is not wet. Maybe it's calling for a different type of game. Can we, as a team, look at the team and say, okay, these are the players that I have. These are the players I've chosen specifically for these things. We've spoken about maybe Bruce, there is an issue for him not having, in his 30, having 30 players or 25 of those players be regulars, so that when we need to change plans, these guys, we know that these 25 players have been playing together for the past 3-4 years. These are the people that he trusts. When we need to change Themba Zwane, we know that whoever comes in is at the level or is at least ready to play when they're called upon. Different things can be true, guys. And this is where we're going to see it. Kumnandi ukuwina le 12 games. But now it's World Cup qualifiers. It's crunch time. Now we need the players to see and know and act. Rwanda didn't win this game just because of conditions or the pitch that was wet. They won this game because, guys, they also wanted it. Within the first 20 minutes, they could have been 3-0 up. They wanted it more. And now we have to look at our teams and say, have they wanted it more? Are they going to show us that they wanted more in tough situations? I also question the adaptability of the team. Guys, these are professional players. These are professional players. It's not players that have come together yesterday or are starting to play or have just become professionals. These are professional players. So I expect, personally, if I see that my pass is not going because it's wet over there, and I've passed it twice and it's not working out, then I expect you to adapt. If I see that these guys have been trying to run behind us, they're telling us, man, they've been waiting for us to get the ball so that they can steal it, adapt. When you see something is not working, adapt. You can't wait until halftime. You can't wait until full time. You can't wait until you're sitting in a hotel for people to sit down and then try plan. That is my issue a lot of the time with South African football as a whole. But now that's what's showing Bafana Bafana. So the question is Bafana Bafana a really good team, or do they have a tactic that is going to work 80% of the time? And then what happens in the other 20%, especially if the other 20% is World Cup qualifiers? This was an incredible chance for us to go 6 points ahead and, as Hussein just said, be chased. But now we're all in the same group now. Now we're all going to be sitting together, not knowing what's going to happen. And you know what's going to go? We're going to have to take out our calculator later on and calculate, as South Africans do all the time. Calculate. Because we can't take advantage of certain things. You're going to play against a Rwanda that makes a pitch wet. You're going to play against a BENIN where it's humid. You can't breathe. You need to play. You're going to go play versus Nigeria where the crowd might be against you for the whole game. These are things that are going to happen. So for me, I can't sit back and say I'm okay with a team finding a wet pitch and not knowing what to do. Or I'm okay with a team playing against a physical team and not knowing how to be physical. Or a team playing against another team and switching off after a certain point. We need to make sure that we kill these things, because those are the things that stop you from qualifying for a World Cup. Those are the things that stop you from qualifying for AFCON all of these years. Those are the things. So as a team, it's not to say that Bruce must be kicked out. It's not to say that players must be kicked out and all of that stuff. It's to say that, guys, this is crunch time. This is crunch time. We missed out versus the Ghana. We missed out like a World Cup qualification. So now, what happens when you guys are in these qualifiers? We can't keep going home and going, no, guys, but you know, the pitch was wet. No, you know, the ref was against us. No, you know, it's just excuses. Go and get the job done. And especially in these groups, because there's other people who are doing jobs here. I only saw two draws versus teams that they were not meant to draw against. You get what I mean? They're showing you, good to know, guys, at least we'll punch above our head. About Namibia have been beating about Cameroon. Showing that, no, guys, we want to do this. So let's make sure that these teams hold them and say, guys, you know what, guys, this is a very important time in our football. Can you please take it seriously? When you go to World Cup qualifiers, switch on the whole time. I told you guys about BENIN, when I speak about BENIN, that, guys, BENIN, maybe we should have been 4-5-6-0 up. so that when you go play versus Rwanda, they can't do anything. Here's the stat Capricorn is bringing up. Rwanda failed to score at home for more than 20 months. Now, I'm not saying that it's a given that everybody must win. Issue for me is when you go out and you put out performances like that, that's where the concern comes from. So let's hope that June next year, when they come back for these World Cup qualifiers, they play well. Let's hope that when they go to AFCON, they can go there and actually give a game, actually play, actually switch on, not complain, because I feel like the problem with South Africa and the problem with our football as a whole in South Africa, right, is we have excuses for everything. Money is not right. This stadium, I had to travel 3 hours. No, but we booked a flight on this day. No, but we did this. It's all excuses. It's all excuses. There comes a time where you have to go out and win. That's all I'm saying. Character. I like Mzi. Mzi, that word that you're using there, Mzi287 on TikTok. I love that word that you're using there. Character. We need to start showing character, whether it be Bafana Bafana, whether it be in the PSL. Rolling over for Mamelodi Sundowns, rolling over for this, rolling over because of these things, rolling over because there's a wet pitch. No, guys, we can't keep doing that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. The results of the poll that I was running here on TikTok say, 4 people say that Hugo Bruce was the reason why we lost this game. 7 people say that the players are the reason why we lost this game. And then only 2 people are saying that Rwanda was that good. So from the poll, people are saying that the players are the problem. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to the amazing panels. If you want to watch any of the previous episodes, firstly, follow here on TikTok, follow the Facebook page, follow on YouTube. On YouTube and Facebook, they are there in full. You can watch any of the incredible conversations that we've had on this here channel. And then we also have a WhatsApp group. If you want to join the WhatsApp group, please, it's 20 Rand YouTube membership. So when you get to our YouTube page, the Overthinking Football Show, you click subscribe, you click join. For only 20 Rand a month, you get access to our WhatsApp group, and you also get member-only live streams where we speak only with members. That's where we have the crux of these things, and we speak for the whole day on all types of different topics, going back and forth. Abo Malume Kutsobo Tio, Abo Velile are part of that group. So guys, join that. Best way to contribute towards this channel. But guys, thank you for joining me. There will not be an afternoon show tomorrow, but I will be back in the evening with a very spicy topic that we had a similar conversation about in the group. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you guys. Let's see Facebook. I want to read some of these comments before I go. Soli gave his lineup. Sipo says our team had no offensive players due to our selection. Obet says Kuchilwe hore game edala na komang. I tried not to say the squad of selected players are not good enough, says Victor. Let's see. Oh, why did I miss a message from Victor? Then Umdulu says, Africa, we're busy colonizing ourselves. How do we approve this soccer ground? If that game had a fixture of Messi or Ronaldo, FIFA or CAF would have sent some delegates to confirm the pitch. My Africa. That is true. On YouTube, Cornelius came and said today was so disappointing. We last qualified for the World Cup. It's been 20 years. 2002, we need to fight in battle. Apparently, the contractor Hugo Bruce signed doesn't allow him to coach in COSAFA. Ngabo says 11 players versus 11 players. All blacks from Africa, all in the same pitch. All are equal. South Africa players should know what they are in Africa, period. Then Cornelia said, very good news for Orlando Pirates is that they will participate in the NFL 2024 next season from South Africa's Mamelodi Sundowns. And hey, guys, let's speak about that another day. You guys are going to break my heart. But thank you to the Facebook and YouTube watchers as well. I will see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m.